You know what's worse than a tire that can explode your head with its mind? Or a children's TV show cast that turns people into human puppets? Well, neither of those are even close to the most impossible horror movie to survive. And by the end of this video, you'll see why the Babadook makes those look like child's play, and why even the most built different of all of you people in the comments wouldn't last 5 minutes against the monsters I've found in these movies. And if you think I'm exaggerating, you should like and subscribe, because Zombeavers is about to prove you wrong. And I can already hear you saying, "Oh please, I could totally handle zombie beavers." My brother in Christ, these aren't your local dam builders with a slight appetite for brains. These are steroid rage beavers infected with toxic waste who can shoot through a cabin wall faster than your landlord ignoring your maintenance requests. And before you say, "Just climb a tree," congratulations, you've just given these murder logs exactly what they want. These things can take down a full-grown oak in minutes. Your climbing skills from that one time you did rock climbing at Planet Fitness aren't gonna save you, buddy. But here's what makes these water rats actually terrifying. They're smarter than your average beaver. They work together, set traps, and can even cut the power to your cabin. That's right, somehow toxic waste gave them an electrical engineering degree. They're basically Ocean's 11 with fur and rabies. Sure, you might think your camping experience will help, but unless your merit badge was in surviving radioactive rodent attacks, you're just bringing a Swiss Army knife to a beaver fight. And don't even think about hiding in the water. That's literally their home turf. That's like trying to escape Jason Voorhees by hanging out at summer camp. But the worst part, their bites don't just hurt. They turn you into a human beaver hybrid. Imagine explaining that transformation on your dating profile. Must love long walks on the beach and have an inexplicable craving for what? Don't read too much into that. But if you think mutant beavers are just a funny threat, let me show you what happened to the last person who tried to fight back. Not so funny anymore, is it? Speaking of things trying to eat you alive, at least zombie beavers are obvious about their intentions. You know what's not obvious though? When scammers pretend to be someone you trust, like your bank or Microsoft. Imagine getting an urgent email from account.microsoft.com telling you your account's been compromised. Look at them, they even provided a helpful link to fix it. But just like all those toxic beavers, one bite is all it takes. Except instead of turning into a beaver hybrid, you're watching your bank account get gnawed away because, oops, that was actually a phishing link. That's why I'm excited to introduce today's video's partner, NordVPN. Their threat protection feature actually recognizes these malicious links and warns you about these dangerous websites before you can click on them. Watch this. When I try to visit that fake phishing site, NordVPN's threat protection immediately blocks it. It's like having a security guard that actually does their job, unlike the ones in every horror movie ever. If you want this level of protection, head over to the link in the description. That's nordvpn.com/chupacabra. With one account, you can protect up to 10 devices. And right now, through my link only, you'll get an extra 4 months on top of your 2-year plan. This is literally the best deal NordVPN offers. You can only get these bonus months through creators like me. That's nordvpn.com/chupacabra. And unlike those zombie beavers who won't give you your limbs back, NordVPN gives you a 30-day money back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, you get your money back, no questions asked. One more time, click the link in the description, which is nordvpn.com/chupacabra, to get your exclusive deal with those extra 4 months. Thanks to NordVPN for partnering with us on this video. Now, let's get back to the video. But if you think zombie beavers are rough, let's talk about something that makes contaminated water actually terrifying: the Crazies. Remember when COVID had everyone afraid to touch their Amazon packages? Well, imagine if instead of making you sick, your town's water supply turned everyone into murderous psychopaths with surprisingly good cardio skills. There's no zombie shuffling here. These aren't even really zombies. These infected can sprint, use tools, and worst of all, they remember how to drive. This is basically a zombie movie, but instead of the zombies being stupid, they're just crazy people. SpongeBob, just don't drink the water. Oh, you sweet, sweet, naive child. It's in the tap water, the shower, the ice in your drinks, even the morning dew on your organic homegrown lettuce. By the time you realize something's wrong, you've already had your morning coffee and your neighbor is trying to mow your face instead of their lawn. And here's the real kick in the teeth. The military's response? They're not coming to save you. They're coming to make sure none of you leave. Remember how hard it was to get toilet paper during lockdown? Try surviving when the whole military is making sure you stay in your infected town. Your apocalypse prepping skills aren't going to help you when Apache helicopters are enforcing the quarantine. The infected here aren't just mindless killers either. They're creative. That friendly mechanic who's always undercharged you, he now knows exactly which tools will cause the most damage. Your kid's elementary school teacher, she's still great at organizing groups, except now it's murder parties instead of bake sales. But the absolute worst part of this movie, you can't even trust your own family. That's right, while you're checking WebMD to see if your headache is just stress, your spouse is in the garage reorganizing their tools by maximum stabbing efficiency. And if you think I'm exaggerating, here's why you're wrong. But at least the Crazies gives you a few minutes to realize that you're screwed. The banana splits, they don't even wait for the show to start, literally. Because the Banana Splits movie isn't just about childhood mascots going rogue. It's what happens when Chuck E. Cheese gets an upgrade from Boston Dynamics. Just unplug them. Brilliant plan, except these aren't your grandma's animatronics that break down when someone sneezes like in Five Nights at Freddy's. These are industrial grade murder machines that decided your organs would make for great party decorations. And unlike Five Nights at Freddy's, you can't just hide in your security office until 6 a.m. These things work over time. Let's break down why you're absolutely toast. First, they're built like tanks. Your baseball bat, that's just going to make them angry. Your gun, congratulations. You've just made metallic Swiss cheese that's still coming for you. And remember, they were literally designed to entertain children, which means they're faster, stronger, and more agile than they have any right to be. But here's what makes them truly terrifying. They still think they're entertaining. Imagine being chased by something that's singing a happy birthday song while it's trying to turn you into confetti. It's like if Barney the dinosaur watched Saw and thought, now that's good television. Sure, you might think your parkour skills from that one weekend workshop will save you, but these things have been practicing their moves on stage for years. While you were learning how to vault over a bench, Flegel was perfecting his catch humans and use their spine as a jump rope routine. And that's not even a joke, because this movie is really, really gory. And the worst part though, they're programmed to keep kids safe. It's the adults they want to turn into party piñatas. So not only are you going to die, but you're going to die while watching these things high-five your children. Talk about adding insult to injury. If you think I'm being dramatic, but at least the Banana Splits give you something to run from. In Fall, the only thing scarier than what's trying to kill you is the 2,000-foot drop that's happy to finish the job. Because Fall isn't about monsters, demons, or killer robots. The real monster of this movie is 2,000 feet of pure what the fuck were you thinking? Who climbs this high on something? Why? I just climbed down. Dude, let's be honest. There is no way you were climbing up or down this thing. It's 2,000 feet tall. This isn't your local climbing gym with the smoothie bar and the encouraging but hot instructor named Chad. This is a rusty radio tower in the middle of nowhere that's older and probably more rocky than your parents' marriage. And here's the fun part. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong. The ladder breaks. Your phone, no signal. Oh wait, shit, you just dropped it. That drone you brought to get a cool shot that now you're trying to use to get help, congratulations. You just watched your last hope fly away like a dead battery. It's like Murphy's Law decided to speedrun your entire survival chances here. But what really makes this movie terrifying is how realistic it is. No supernatural threats, no convenient plot armor, just you, your rapidly depleting water bottle, and the vultures that are already calling dibs on which organs they're gonna eat first. That's right, even the local wildlife is leaving Yelp reviews about their upcoming meal. Sure, you might have done some rock climbing before, and maybe you even have one of those live, laugh, love posters, but with climb instead of love. But trust me, your Instagram photos from that one time you went bouldering with your ex who you said was a really good guy aren't gonna help when you're playing Jenga with tetanus-covered metal bars. And the absolute worst part of this movie, your body starts to shut down from dehydration, exhaustion, and exposure. And let me tell you, hallucinating while you're 2,000 feet up is about as fun as using a cheese grater as a water slide. At least other horror movie victims get to die with their dignity. You're gonna spend your last moments wondering if that cloud really looks like your high school math teacher doing the Macarena. And if you think I'm exaggerating about the hallucinations, check this. But if you think being trapped on a tower is bad, wait until you meet a tire that can make your head explode just because it woke up on the wrong side of the road. Yes, I'm being serious. Rubber isn't just a movie about a killer tire. It's what happens when a Michelin man's origin story goes horribly wrong. Just shoot it! With what? Your extensive collection of tire-killing bullets? Are you serious? Have you ever shot a tire? Yeah, you might put a hole in it, but is it going to die? No, it's made out of rubber. This isn't your average road hazard. This is a tire named Robert, who can make your head explode by thinking about it. Who the f came up with this movie? That's right, somewhere between rolling through the desert and deciding violence was the answer, this tire developed psychic powers, and you thought your morning commute was rough. That's cute. The most terrifying part of this tire, there's literally no reason for any of this. Robert doesn't have a tragic backstory. No one slashed his siblings. He just wakes up and chooses violence because he can. It's like if your coffee maker gained sentience and decided making your morning brew wasn't exciting enough anymore. I don't know if that means that the writer of this movie is incredibly intelligent or incredibly stupid, but it's one of them. Forget everything you know about escaping movie monsters. You can't outrun it. It's a tire. It was literally made for rolling. You can't hide from it either because it can sense you with its psychic powers. And you can't reason with it. What are you going to do? Offer it a rotation and balance? It's a fucking tire. Sure, you might think you're clever. I'll just set up spike strips like they did in Breaking Bad. Congratulations, you've just made it angry. Now, instead of just exploding your head, it's going to make you watch all of your favorite streaming shows' final seasons before it kills you. And that's fancy words for saying it's going to make it really, really slow. Even other movie monsters are watching this thinking, bro, that's pretty harsh. But the absolute worst part of this movie knows how ridiculous this is, and it doesn't care. While you're trying to make sense of why a tire is committing murder with psychic powers, it's already decided your head would look better as a Jackson Pollock painting. And if you don't know what that looks like, this is what that looks like. If you're sitting there thinking I'm overselling a tire's ability to be terrifying, watch this. But if you think a psychic tire is weird, wait until you see what happens when the holy city of Jerusalem decides to speedrun the apocalypse. Because Jerusalem, I don't really know how to say this right, but we're just gonna call it that. It takes your typical vacation gone wrong and adds biblical apocalypse with a side of demonic parkour. Just stay inside. Oh, you sweet, sweet, naive child. When the gates of hell open up in a holy city, your Airbnb's 5-star rating isn't gonna save you. These demons can climb walls, fly, and turn people into possessed murder gymnasts faster than you can say, I should have just gone to Cancun instead. What makes this apocalypse particularly nasty is that it happens during Yom Kippur, when the city is literally shut down. That's right, while you're trying to escape flying demons, the military's got the city on lockdown, tighter than your ex's Instagram after y'all broke up. And those ancient city walls that tourists love taking selfies with, they've just become your prison. But here's the real kick in the prayer books. These demons don't just kill you, they infect you. One scratch and suddenly you're doing aerial backflips with wings you definitely didn't pack for this trip. I promise you, your travel insurance definitely doesn't cover unexpected transformation into biblical horror. Or you're gonna say, I've seen The Exorcist 5 times. Or I used to date a girl that liked crystals. Cool story. Try explaining that to a demon that's treating the Western Wall like it's a personal American Ninja Warrior course. Your Catholic school education isn't going to help you when Jerusalem's turning into hell's version of Fire Festival. And the absolute worst part, this whole thing is recorded through smart glasses. So you get to watch yourself make every wrong decision in first person HT. It's like having a GoPro strapped to your head while the apocalypse does a let's play of your final moments. And if you think I'm exaggerating how fast this thing spreads, look at this. But if you think demonic parkour is rough, we need to talk about the cleansing hour, because this is what happens when a fake exorcism show meets a demon with better production value than they do. Just turn off the stream. Brilliant plan, except this demon's got more followers than your favorite TikTok star before they got canceled. These guys went from faking exorcisms for clout to dealing with Lucifer himself. And turns out Satan's really into live streaming. It's like if your fake ghost hunting show accidentally caught Casper's evil cousin who's really into social media marketing and has a weird obsession with kick streamers. Here's the real nightmare fuel. This demon doesn't just want to possess one person. It wants to go viral. We're talking about a supernatural entity that understands algorithm engagement better than I do. Have you seen my views? They're crap. While you're worried about your streaming quality, it's turning your broadcast into hell's version of a YouTube channel. But wait, it gets worse. This demon's basically running the world's worst reality TV show, exposing everyone's darkest secrets live on air. That embarrassing thing you did in 3rd grade, that's now trending on Twitter. Your browser history, that's getting more views than my cat video I posted when I was 13. Sure, you might think you could handle it. I've got nothing to hide. That's cute, because this demon's got better dirt digging skills than your ex's best friend during a late night Instagram deep dive. And unlike your regular stream trolls, this one can actually make you eat your keyboard, literally. But the absolute worst part of this movie, every viewer becomes a potential victim. That's right, this demon turned like and subscribe to my channel, which you should do, into watch and become possessed. It's got a better viral marketing strategy than those ads about hot singles in your area, except instead of dating, you're getting in a one-way ticket to Demon Timeshare. Also, how come whenever I clicked on those ads, there were no hot singles in my area? Someone's gotta sue them for false advertising, because what the fuck? And do you think I'm exaggerating about how bad this gets? Just look. But if you think a demon with a YouTube channel is scary, wait until you meet what happens when a blind psychic meets a mannequin with murder on its mind. Oddity proves that the only thing scarier than a haunted house is a haunted house with a blind psychic and a mannequin that makes Annabelle look like a Barbie doll. Just don't touch anything. Yeah, because that strategy works great when you're blind and everything in the house wants to play a game of murder tag. Our protagonist Darcy isn't just any blind psychic. She's trying to solve her twin sister's murder by touching objects and getting visions. Imagine playing hot and cold, except cold means death and hot means probably also death. But here's where it gets properly messed up. There's this wooden mannequin that's basically what would happen if Pinocchio did meth and ketamine and had a villain origin story. And unlike your department store mannequins that just judge your fashion choices silently, this one's got hands, murder hands, and fuck, its face is scary. Look at that thing. What makes this especially terrifying is that Darcy can't even see the danger coming. She has to literally touch things to understand what's trying to kill her. It's like playing Five Nights at Freddy's blindfolded, except instead of surviving until 6 a.m. trying to figure out why your sister's husband is acting sketchier than a used car salesman at tax time. Sure, you might think having psychic powers would help you, but imagine getting a vision of your impending doom and still having to fumble around in the dark trying to avoid it. That's like getting a text that says watch out without any context. Thanks for the anxiety, universe. And the absolute worst part, the mannequin isn't just content with being creepy. It's got a whole revenge agenda that makes your high school drama look like a PBS kids show. And when it finally makes its move, let's just say it gives a new meaning to the phrase wooden performance. And if you think I'm exaggerating about how terrifying this mannequin is, just look at this clip. But do you think a murderous mannequin is bad? Wait until you meet the monster that literally feeds on your attempts to fight it. Because the Babadook isn't just a monster. It's what happens when depression gets an agent and decides to start doing house calls. Oh, just don't read the book, stupid. Oh, honey, the Babadook doesn't need your permission to start its book club of terror. This isn't your typical throw holy water at it and call it a day kind of monster. The more you deny it exists, the stronger it gets. The more you fight it, the deeper it digs in. It's like that one relative who keeps asking about your relationship status at family gatherings. Except this one can possess your mom and make her do parkour across the ceiling. And here's the truly terrifying part of this movie. You can't kill it, you can't banish it, and you can't even ignore it. The Babadook is basically that intrusive thought that shows up at 3 a.m. Except it's wearing a top hat and can make your mom try to perform amateur dental surgery on you with kitchen utensils. And forget everything you learned about other horror movies. Salt circles, it's gonna laugh at your seasoning. Sage burning, great. Now it's an aromatherapy session with murder. Holy water, congratulations. You've just given the Babadook a refreshing beverage while it plans your demise. Sure, you might think you're mentally tough. I've dealt with difficult customers in retail. That's cute. This thing makes Karen asking for the manager look like a minor inconvenience. The Babadook doesn't want to speak to your manager. It wants to become the manager of your entire existence. And the absolute worst part of this monster, the only way to survive it is to acknowledge it and learn to live with it. It's a giant fucking metaphor for depression. That's right, your only option is to basically become roommates with the thing that's been terrorizing you. Imagine having to save a spot at the dinner table for the monster under your bed. Pass the salt, Mr. Babadook? By the way, great job at not making me stab myself today. And do you think I'm exaggerating about how impossible it is to get rid of and how scary this thing is? Look. So the next time you're typing, not me though, in my videos about horror movies, remember, somewhere out there, the Babadook is probably reading it and adding you to its waiting list. If you think you can survive all of these horror movies, I want you to comment down below how exactly you're gonna do it. And then if you do that, like and subscribe, and I'll respond to some of the funnier comments. Also, if you wanna see what other horror movies you're absolutely screwed against, watch this video right here.